Today I am celebrating the beginning of the Nativity Fast. Now, it boggles my mind when I think of people who may have fasted for the whole 40 odd days leading from now up until Christmas. It's a cold time of the year to be fasting. I've really developed a relationship with fasting over recent years. My first fast was probably in my early 20s, doing juice fasts, which I now consider to be a kind of feasting, because it's only a water fast that really unlocks the healing powers and the sense of inspiration and peace that can be unlocked with water fasting. And I've really been exploring fasting profoundly in recent times. After my dad died this year, I did a 21-day fast. That's my longest so far. And I'm really getting a sense of just what an incredible life practice this is. Now, the Russian Orthodox and I think Orthodox churches in general begin this Nativity Fast 40 days of preparation for Christmas. And when I first heard about that, I presumed that meant water fasting, and so I thought that's pretty serious, and maybe for some people it is, but I am yet to meet an Orthodox that actually practices water fasting. As I understand it, they consider fasting to be the exemption of meat and dairy products, so basically having a vegan existence for a period of time. I don't really consider that fasting. And it's funny because, the Ramadan, the Islamic practice that happens once every lunar year, is also, for me, not really fasting. I mean, it's an intermittent fast, which has its benefits, undoubtedly. But, funnily enough, as an aside, it often leads to diabetes in that culture, because people often fast all day and then feast heartily on the sweetest foods they can, and so this can trigger glucose issues and insulin issues. But I do believe that most of these fasting practices started out as water fasting, foregoing food. Cultures all around the world swear by it. Like the Native Americans, it was a normal part of male initiation to go and spend 4 days on a hillside with no food or water. Now, for maybe a little water, but certainly no food. And to me, it seems that this practice has been used as a means of connecting ourselves with our spiritual selves, with our soul, with our deepest self, our highest self, whatever your belief system prefers to describe that. It allows us to connect with our inner world in a very profound way. Fasting also is a very natural health response. Animals do it. If they're poisoned, if they're sick, they go off their food until their body has a chance to restore and to heal itself. Or alternatively, they fast to die. This is also a practice that has been used by cultures around the world. I'm really, really fascinated by this process of fasting. I've received huge benefits from it, and I continue to. And it's something that I tend to do every week. Well, I'm now thinking about how to participate in this Nativity Fast. There's no way, as a working family man, I can think about doing 40 days of fasting. There's just no way. It needs to be accompanied by rest. Maybe I could forego meat products and such like for 40 days. Well, I'm sure I could, but I don't feel like that really fits with my beliefs. And I suppose that leads me to want to celebrate Nativity Day, or this Nativity Fast, because it's just, it reminds me of how far we've come as a society. Fasting necessitates some form of rest. You can't continue working like crazy. This probably dates back to a time when the harvest had been made, there wasn't much work to do, you were waiting for the feast of Christmas, and so a period of rest could be enjoyed. There was plenty of firewood because it had been harvested during the summer and early autumn. So you could keep warm, keep still, sing, sew, read, play, talk, and do those things that are really harmonious with the practice of fasting. In today's world, how many people could think about spending the next 40 days in a period of calm inner reflection? It's just unimaginable. If you are so lucky, I suggest you consider this as a practice. Whether you're Christian or not. I was baptised, and yet I still don't know if I can really consider myself a Christian. I'm still wrestling with that as an idea. But the practices and the ceremonies and the rituals, the metaphors of the stories still hold a lot of significance for me. And so that's why today I'm celebrating the Nativity Fast, the beginning of the Nativity Fast, as a pause for reflection, to consider how it is that I'm going to participate in this practice, this celebration, this ritual. I suppose I'd like to take a moment to think of all the orthodox people that are going to be participating in this for the next 40 days. Here's to the Nativity Fast.